Boys, welcome to Pod episode 25.
Yeah, I needed that. That gave me a little bit of energy.
Yeah, bro.
Now that we're going.
Say the thing. Say the thing.
What is the thing?
Just say your thing, so we'll get you having some more energy.
What?
The thing you were gonna say.
What was I gonna say?
We talked about it. You were gonna say it.
Oh, we're just gonna open with that
Yeah,
straight away.
Yeah, just do it real quick.
Okay, so Black Ops 3 is the best zombies game, but Cold War is my favorite.
There you go. What's up, boys?
Yeah, we talked about that interaction pre-podcast.
Yeah.
Where I was like, the podcast is gonna come around and I'm gonna say that Cold War is my favorite, and you're gonna hit me.
Yeah, I am.
And you did.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
Okay, so what's up, guys? This is episode 25. This is a more straightforward episode. This isn't a real. I feel like I'm not prepped for a Comedy of the Dead episode.
Yeah, this is just gonna be full discussion. This is just
This
like
is full discussion. There isn't a question because the episode is a question.
yeah, I was gonna say this
It
is this is effectively like a question that we're just gonna
Yes.
discuss the whole time.
On what is better, old zombies or new zombies?
Also, I do want to like throw this out there at the top of the episode. We're gonna like have fun arguing about it. I'm gonna like be
Yes.
defending the shit out of Cold War, but like old zombies is so much better, just on the whole.
Well, I mean, I think we're talking about conceptually. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like
Obviously, old zombies has like a lot more content, just
Yeah.
because like
we're not talking about how good the game is or how good the maps are. It's how good the fundamentals
yeah,
of
yeah.
it are. Like we'll call it Cold War II. For Cold War II, would it be better if they continued on the trend that they started in Cold War, or if they reverted to like Black Ops 2? You know,
Yeah.
that's the question, and that's what we're doing. Now,
Yeah.
I want to say, so, just to be clear, we're gonna set the sides of the debate here. I am for old zombies. He's for new zombies.
Yeah, I mean, we started by me saying Cold War is my favorite zombies.
Yes. So I obviously, but I just wanted
Yeah.
to say that definitively. Now, something that I thought about is that I feel like it's very difficult to include BO3 and BO4 in this discussion
Why is that?
because they are kind of in the middle.
They are kind of in the middle.
And they're kind of in the middle, and like they're both in the middle. BO3 kind of leans towards old zombies,
Yeah.
and BO4 leans towards new zombies.
Yeah.
But they both still have a lot of the fundamentals that was built in before.
Yeah, BO3 though to me feels like old zombies with modern twists, and
Yeah.
BO4 feels like new zombies with like
With
elements of the old.
with a touch of the old, you know.
Yeah, that's the difference for
Yeah.
me. That's where it
But
kind of sits.
I feel like it's a little more difficult to talk about it in this context. So for me, I'm just talking about like the fundamentals that were built in World of War BO1, BO2.
Yeah, and I'm mostly going to be talking
Yeah.
about Cold War because
yeah.
BO4 doesn't have that much good to say about it in this.
So
I'll be honest with you.
also, you had your thing you said that was weird.
You gonna
I
drop
have
a
my
hot
thing.
take?
BO4, BO3, BO2, BO1, and World at War are all better than Cold War, and I believe that. That isn't a joke. Go for it. That is a statement that I believe.
Yeah, I
This
also fully stand by Cold War being my favorite zombies game.
Yeah.
That is there's no like
Look at my Pokemon card.
there's no like faking or anything. There's no like over exaggerating. Cold War is my favorite zombies game right now.
Yeah, but so kind of just want to get into it because
Yeah,
I have a way of looking at it. My mom knows nothing about zombies, but I said it to her to see if I sounded stupid. She said I didn't. Perhaps I still do. Doesn't tell me a
Okay.
whole lot, but it gives me a little bit more confidence in saying it.
Okay, you think that literally every zombies game is better than Cold War, so I think
I think Cold War is the worst of the Treyarch zombies games. Here is why.
obviously excluding, yeah.
We don't include Vanguard. We
It
don't-
counts though. It has to count.
Yes, but also like, come on, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like
It's
come
also
on.
just for like clarification's sake though, because like people are gonna be like,
Van-
what about
Van-
Vanguard?
Vanguard is the worst zombies game, and I'm gonna say will never be topped, but you never know.
It could be.
It should never be topped.
Yeah.
As
We didn't think that like the non-Treyarch zombies modes could be worsened.
Yeah, and then we got Vanguard. But I digress. I think that Cold War fundamentally misunderstands zombies. Here is why. I have a very simple reason on which I believe this. So obviously your opposition is the zombies, right?
Yep.
You're fighting zombies. However, the challenge is different. The difficulty that comes with the game from World of War at least to BO3, BO4 is a little questionable, and definitely in Cold War, the challenge is not the same. The difficulty that comes with the game is different. In the way, and here's what I mean. Like, fighting the zombies is easy. You know, like it's you're never shooting zombies going, oh, fuck. You know?
Yeah.
The challenge is making sure you have the right guns, making sure your strategy that you're running is sound.
Yeah.
Your ammo is good. You are running a good perk selection. You know, like that's the challenge. When in Cold War, at least I don't know in BO4 much. Haven't played as much in BO4, but in Cold War, that's not the challenge. The challenge is the zombies. Zombies are the challenge because the zombies progressively get harder. They get faster, they get stronger, they do more damage. So in Cold War, the challenge is not set on by the map or by constraints that change map to map. The challenge in Cold War is the zombies, which stays the same for every map because it is just how the zombies work, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I do get what you're saying with that, because I do think that you are right in the sense that the challenge is different and that there is more of a focus on just like fighting zombies in the later games.
Yes.
It becomes more about like the zombies scale up, especially in Cold War, like with the more damage, the super sprinters later on.
Yes. Now, obviously, like mini bosses are a lot different. Like in Call of the Dead, the challenge is George.
Yeah.
In other maps, I don't know, like in Origins, early game, the challenge is the Panzer.
Yep.
You know, because the Panzer obviously isn't super hard, but like you can't be fucking around with the Panzer. You know.
Yeah.
It isn't difficult, but you can't be fucking around with it.
Yeah.
Or otherwise you get clapped. And yeah, I think that I much heavily prefer the old way that it goes, in the way that the challenge is not from the zombies, it's from the map. Everything is different map to map. You have something like Revelations in which it's just collapse because it's not super tight corners. You have the Thunder Gun, you have the Revelation, you have the Apothecary Servant, and you're just busted. And because of that, like, the zombies aren't hard. The game isn't hard.
Yeah.
Which obviously, you know, isn't a great thing, but that's how it is there. But then you can also, in the same kind of way, you've got like Shang, or I guess I'm trying to find a better example from like the same game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
From in BO1, you have Ascension, you have Origins. It wasn't even Moon. Kino, you have Kino. You have Ascension, you have Kino, which are both objectively very, very easy.
Yep.
Open spaces, you had the Thunder Gun. Ascension, you have PhDs, you can just spam with Sallies for a while.
Yep.
And it's objectively very easy. And in that same game, in that same engine, in the same format, you have Shang and you have Five, which are two of the hardest zombies maps, I would say. And those both coexist in the same game, which I don't think that Cold War could possibly do. Or at least I don't think that the Cold War engine could possibly do that. I don't think it matters. Because also in Cold War, like while the challenge is different, it also at the same time takes away the old challenges. Because, you know, like a lot of the challenge is keeping up with ammo. especially in like wonder weapons and shit. Don't matter in Cold War. Get ammo buys.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, a huge challenge, especially on something like, I don't know, call it Shang, maybe. Call it various different maps. You got 4 perk slots. You got 4 choices on what you can have. Not a thing in Cold War. Get them all. And they're also all very regimented, of course, because you have the first perk is 2,000, the second perk is 2,500. There really isn't.
It starts at 2,500.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. 100% on that? 100%?
Yes.
I'll believe you. I'll believe you. But it's and there's no real strategy. Like the strategy is what's the best perk? Buy that perk first. You know?
Yeah, I will say we'll get into this more, but I think that varies from what you're doing. That depends. Like I buy perks in very different orders a lot of the time.
Sure. But I don't know, like it also provides for what I also like. When was the last time you bought a wall weapon in Cold War? Not for some random challenge that you have to do. That is get 1,000 kills with a wall weapon.
Ooh.
When is the last time you bought a wall weapon because you wanted to buy a wall weapon? I thought about that in my head at work. I was like, oh, I'm gonna say, when was the time you bought a weapon? And then he's gonna be like, well, actually, you have to get 500 kills with a blue wall weapon for a challenge, and I'm gonna slap the shit.
We played Mauer like, or we didn't play Mauer actually, but I played Mauer like. Did we play zombies last night? Was that last night?
That was last night. Yes.
Yeah, I bought wall weapons last night.
Yes, but the
yeah,
last time you bought it because you were like, wall weapons.
Probably like bare minimum a few months ago. I think at some point I remember buying some. The point is,
no,
it doesn't happen very often.
One time you hit the box.
That actually was like a little bit more recently. I know in a game of D Machina I was playing at some point I hit the box just to get box stuff. I don't remember exact time frame on that, but like relatively recently.
I mean, yeah, because D Machina.
It wasn't for the ray gun.
I mean, but even then, D Machina is the only map where that's even kind of relevant. Even then, because like all the other maps have, fucking you got trials, bro. Run trials, which I think is less fun because and also because you get to choose, because you have every weapon in the game you can choose from to run as your gun.
Yep.
Which is cool, I guess, but also kind of like they took away all the randomness. Took away any form of like, this game will be different from the last one. You just don't know how yet. You know?
Yeah.
Because you know that every time you play zombies in a game before, like anytime you play zombies in a casual sense, obviously you're playing you're trying to like do something interesting, like a high round speed run. It's gonna be the same shit,
Yeah, you've got to do like restarts and whatever.
Yeah, but every time you step into a casual game of zombies from BO1, from World at War to BO3, BO2 if you want to do that, but BO3, that game is going. You will not have 2 games that are the same. Just won't.
Yeah.
Or obviously you'll never have a game that's the same, but
yeah,
games are like it's close.
Yeah, depending on what you're playing, it's like you're gonna be set up with like different box stuff, and that alone is enough to like change things up.
Yeah, like obviously on BO3 they use the Wonder Fizz too much, or they ineffectively use the Wonder Fizz.
Yeah.
But on like Origins, like you're like, I want some double tap, hit the fizz, get cherry, and you're like, sure,
run cherry,
pick up cherry
for a game,
and then that's different. The game is different than your last game, and that's not a thing. In Cold War, can't do that. Just buy them all. I think that's bad. I'm not a fan of it.
All right. Well, now that you've had your piece, I want to say I fully get where you're coming from on all of this. I understand it. I think you make fair points. However, let me go through and explain why I like literally everything that you went through.
This is the most 25 we've ever been on the podcast. This episode is just going, this is what we don't agree about.
Yeah.
And also Origins.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff in Cold War, it's like, I don't know, what were some of the things? Like the perk selection for me, I really enjoy the way the perks are done in the game because for me, Cold War, just on a base level, it's obviously a very casual game. I enjoy playing it as just a casual experience.
Just get on the vibe.
Get on, have a good time. Cold War does that really well, and being able to just get all of the perks, to me...
I don't agree with that.
What? What do you not agree with?
It does casual very well. I don't agree with that.
Okay, well...
Because of co-op and then downing and losing everything. That's the thing is because that's something that you kind of haven't experienced all too much. Because you just...
Get better, lol. Get better.
You just kind of don't die.
Get better.
See, no, the thing is that dying and losing everything is fine if the other person isn't cracked. Because it'd be like me dying and losing shit doesn't matter if you also die. But you don't. You live and you carry the game. So
Yeah.
I sit with nothing and also stand by it. The point collecting system is dog ass. It sucks dick. Just give me a 10 points for shooting the zombie, bro. Just give me 10. Give me 10. Give me some strategy in it.
A little tenor.
Give me a little tenner, bruv.
Yeah,
But
anyway.
there's no way to come back. So I disagree with it being a great casual game.
I think that in that aspect it does kind of falter, but outside of that, outside of the specific co-op dying out and recovering, I think that the casual gameplay is pretty good.
I do agree with that.
Like it obviously it falters there, and I'm not gonna try and sit here and go, oh, actually though, because it's the recovery's not great.
Can I pause for just a second?
What you got?
Do you mind?
What you got?
We have a Boomhilda here.
We just didn't address
I
it.
looked forward and saw it. And a Boomhilda. Look at it.
Paint job's not
Paint job's mid,
the highest quality. However, we have a Boomhilda, and you don't.
right? Do you have one? Better fucking. You know what? I'll fucking.
Ooh, you're just gonna shoot the audience like
Yeah,
that?
I'll
Damn.
fucking kill you because you think that
Ooh,
Cold War is
damn.
good.
Me?
Continue. Yeah. Also, it came with a stand, and one of the props for the stand just wasn't there. We just didn't get it,
Yeah.
which is cool. But whatever.
Unfortunate.
Whatever.
It happens. We got it in a week, and it came from
Fucking
Latvia.
Latvia.
So I'm not
and
complaining
we
too much.
We ordered it either right before or right after the recording of the last podcast.
Yeah, it was right before.
That shit got here today. That's
Yeah.
nuts. How do you
Yep.
do that? That's some Amazon type shit, and you're an Etsy seller
Etsy seller in Latvia shipping to America.
in sub a week.
I thought you were just gonna drop where we lived.
What?
I don't know.
That
Just
doesn't even check out. That isn't even it starts with an S, so it'll work. Delivering all the way to this address, our zip code, and my social security number.
Yeah, we got a Boomhilda though. It's cool.
It's cool.
Anyway, back to
Sorry.
discussion.
I looked at it and was like, sorry about that. Sorry. Apologies.
Yeah.
I'll sit back and I'll put the mic down so you can just talk.
All right. So with the perk system, I enjoy the perk system in Cold War because for me, as much as it's nice having the strategy and the trying to get different perks through different methods and having to choose your 4 perks that you want to run, I really enjoy just being able to get on and not have to think too much about that, and I can just I can get whatever perks are most useful to me immediately, and eventually I can just buy all of them just throughout the game. I get why that's not something that you enjoy. However, I really like just being able to do that. And then there is still strategy involved in setting up your early game perk loadout, figuring out what is the most important to buy early on, what perks you want to get while they're cheap. Like, you can get death perception early on if you really want to optimize salvage gains. If you're going for, like, camo challenges or something, Deadshot's going to be better for you. If you're trying to do stuff with, like, field upgrades, you'll want to get Speed Cola first. Stamina Up and Jug are always just, like, solid choices if you want to play safe. Stuff like that. And then there's a good variety. If you, like, if you want to play really safe, go for, like, Quick Revive or something, you know.
I'm not rushing you. Let me know when I can rebuttal.
Gotcha.
Not being
Yeah,
rushed.
if you want to jump in, just, like, hop in. You're good.
Yeah, I talked for a while. I want to give you your time that you can talk for a while.
Yeah. All right.
So just let me know when you're mostly finished.
Okay. So that's all I got to say on the perk system. Like, I enjoy being able. Also, it's just fun to have 10 perks. Like, just getting 10 perks and being able to run around. Not after popping a perkaholic, like progressing through and like killing stuff continually and doing that progression. That's also, I like the way that the points scale, because it's like every perk you buy gets a little bit more. You've got to keep going through the rounds a little bit, keep progressing to be able to get to that point of being like fully kitted out with everything. I enjoy that.
I mean,
you got something?
I mean, the point is just going down, and then you fall drastically behind, because then you've got no points.
Yeah,
and
that can happen.
I mean, not it can, it does. Like, if you buy a perk, come back down and get caught, you all of a sudden have no points and are back with fucking nothing, especially on like not like a higher rounds, because like a higher round you got enough points at that point.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Also, fucking high rounds suck dick.
Yeah, high rounds aren't super great.
They're like bad. It's crazy that the high rounds, right? Are they all just War Machine or Flamethrower? Like, I'm asking. Is Firebase still the Reiki? Where you sit in that one spot?
I think Firebase is still probably the Reiki in there, and then you just like you probably pull out like the Death Machine or War Machine to charge up Ring of Fire, and then you Reiki.
Yeah, that.
And then Mauer, I assume, is still if you're running the spot in the
power room.
In the power room, yeah, it's the Cerberus, and then War Machine for Ring of Fire.
Yeah, that's boring as shit.
I will say, having played a pretty long Mauer game, I thought it was pretty fun. I'm also just someone who enjoys doing high rounds, though. So, you know, maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just I enjoy just like repetitive shit. I mean, you know where I come from, so like
hell.
Yeah.
I tried as fucking hard as I could to deadpan that. I got it for a second. Didn't have it for very long.
Yeah. Yeah. So what other stuff did you talk about? Like you started with like just the difficulty,
which I mean, I think that the challenge is just objectively different.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about before. Yeah. Like when we talked about it a little bit before, because I kind of was at work and deciphered this in my head and was like, I'm a fucking genius. That's what I was talking about. And I was like, I don't think that's a rebuttalable point. Like, the challenge is just different.
Yeah. The difference with this is like the challenge is different. It becomes a different game. It's just whether you enjoy the difference or not.
And here's the thing. I don't necessarily not enjoy the difference. But like, it's why it's always felt different. It's not the same zombies.
Yeah, it is different.
And like, an example that I thought of is like, what's a better game? What's a better zombies? What's a better game with zombies in it? World at War or Advanced Warfare?
Maybe.
Like, maybe AW.
Because like this is gonna get us like destroyed by people who actually care about zombies.
I mean, we actually care about zombies.
I mean, yeah,
we
but
have
like
we have a 20-episode podcast about this.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
We
have at this point uploaded a day's worth of footage.
Jesus, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that. Oh
we are
my goodness.
6 months in.
Jesus Christ.
Look at us go.
Oh my God, we are. Because
We just
that's
started a Patreon.
like...
And that's where Comedy of the Dead goes.
Yeah, it was Patreon. We do 2 podcasts a week. Do like a half hour, 45-minute Comedy of the Dead,
Yeah.
hour-long Pod of the Dead.
I'm down.
That seems like a lot, but
It seems like a lot. I mean, we'll figure it out.
we could figure it out. That could be fun.
But,
Or we just do like an hour and a half, just pivot, full Comedy of the Dead.
Fuck it. No more zombies.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, so Advanced Warfare. Do I think Advanced Warfare is a better game with zombies in it? Maybe. I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not really here to have that discussion right now, but I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think that World at War is a better zombies game because AEW makes the same mistake, to at least what I deem as a mistake, the same mistake that Cold War does, and the difficulty in AEW is the zombies. They are the difficulty. You know?
Yeah.
The normal standard zombies is what's hard. And that kind of isn't what zombies is. And I thought about it because I was like, you know, my point isn't really buffing up old zombies, right? Oh, shit. I got my finger stuck. Got it. But my point isn't really buffing up old zombies, right?
Yeah.
And I thought about that, and I was like, well, I mean, that's because the burden of proving yourself as being better is on the new thing. You know?
What do you mean?
The burden of proving that one way is better is on the thing that came after.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
You know?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So, Cold War needed to prove that its style was better than the old one to justify the change. Otherwise, you know, why fix what wasn't broken? Because they changed it in BO4 and kind of broke it a little. And then went,
Yeah.
fuck it. And then...
Yeah, and then it was a lot better in Cold War.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And... yeah, to conclude that point and to not talk about it anymore, not a rebuttable point. They're different.
Yeah.
They're different challenges. So I talked about perks.
Yeah, I want to get into the challenge a little bit because, like, you are right on the fact that it is just different. Like, that is just a thing. That's how it is.
Yes, it is objectively different.
They play differently.
Also, I want to use that as my resume and my application to become an assistant creative director at Treyarch, and I would love to be involved.
Nah, dude, because you're gonna try and go backwards from Cold War.
Fuck yeah. Fuck that shit.
No, they gotta just
run
like,
it back.
take the best parts of Cold War and take some of the elements from old zombies that worked a little bit better, combine them. Perfect zombies game.
Eat my dick and balls, you fat bitch.
That's what happened. You're gonna go back and look at it, and you're gonna.
I'm not looking at shit.
You're the one editing.
I don't have eyes.
I can. Huh? Yes, you do.
Talk about the challenge.
Okay. Yeah. So challenge, like, is undeniably different. But like, I don't know. I like the challenge in Cold War. I like the way it's done. It's a little bit less like resource management, but you do still have to like keep track of your points and stuff. There is still like that element of like getting enough points to be able to open through and like to be able to buy your stuff, getting upgrades. You've got to manage like your salvage and stuff now. That's a bit of a thing. Buying like armor and getting through that stuff. And then also the zombies being a bit more difficult. Like the health scaling, that's really nice. I really enjoy that. Or like the damage scaling, I mean.
I want to buff him for a thing that I think is stupid. Why do the fucking all the equipment and the other shit also scale? Why do they do that?
It's a little overpowered, but it's fun to be able to just chuck a C4 and just like kill a horde at any point.
I mean, I guess that's fun, but it's also C4 and it's on the ground all the time. And it's also like it's not interesting. It's a bomb that you find on the ground.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
I don't think that's interesting.
You would be interested if you were walking around and you saw a bomb on the ground.
Yes, but it's a bit. But we're talking about the same series that gave us a fucking Cthulhu gun. Like, my interest isn't piqued by a bomb anymore. like I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
fair enough.
don't look at a C4 and go like I do when there's a fucking Cthulhu on my arm, you know? And that it's under my control now. And then I also have a jar and go. And then he gets mad. And then busts out and is a lot bigger now.
Yeah, something that I will not even attempt to argue on is that like the personality in the older games is like leaps and bounds.
Leaps and goddamn bounds.
Like there is cool stuff in Cold War, but none of it is like near the same level as Squid Gun and like
what I want to say is that I think a big part of the personality not being there is due to the
operators.
No, yes, but not what I'm saying. Due to the what is the challenge? Because the challenge the challenge in the old games comes from the maps. The challenge in the new games comes from the zombies, and due to that, the challenge for Cold War is the same on every map. At least mostly. You know, there can be a little bit of like a change here and there, but it's the same.
Yeah, there is a little bit of variation.
When in the other maps it's very different.
Yeah,
in other games it's very different.
I think that does come down a little bit also to just like the Cold War zombies maps all have like kind of similar like play spaces. There isn't a whole lot of like there isn't a whole lot of like there's no map that you're gonna play and it's like super close quarters where you're like having to worry about zombies in close proximity at all time. Every map has like some open space that you can kind of be in. I think that is maybe a bit of a problem with the map design. There's no like
I didn't,
not as much like inherent challenge in like the map design.
Yeah, I think you can make the case that on the change in things with map design, like they could just be moving forward with that style of map design.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to get a bit more variety in that, where like all of the Cold War maps, there's obviously like differences, and you prefer one or the other, but a lot
I think Mauer is the best map. I don't like Firebase very much.
Yeah, I think Firebase is like the top for me.
Yeah.
I think my ranking now, my ranking has changed a bit going through playing like everything. D Machine is still at the bottom, but it's Firebase, Forsaken, Mauer, D Machine now.
Sure. Yeah, I don't care enough at this moment to talk about it.
Yeah, it's
Incredibles.
What?
I said Incredibles.
Christ. I lost my train of thought now. God damn it, your Incredibles destroyed me.
We're talking about maps and map design and how the change in how the change in what the challenge comes from changes how the maps feel, because old maps all feel different based on their challenge when all the new maps all feel the same.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
I think the new maps feel the same though. Like you definitely could get more challenge if you like if the maps were designed a bit differently. I think it is possible to get some of that challenge from the map design itself in the Cold War engine. It's just like they didn't
do that.
Which obviously is still a problem with Cold War, but I think it is like it goes a little bit against your point that they can't get that challenge. I think they can, and I think it's even like on some maps like on Onslaught Containment, on the gunfight map, stuff like KGB, that's like pretty close quarters. That's pretty tough because it's just like you start getting super sprinters in there, and it's like a pretty tight space to be running
Something
around
I'm really interested in is Chronicles 2.
Yeah, Chronicles 2 might be happening for Cold War.
And I mean, like it's happening for Cold War. It's happening. It's happening for Cold War. It's happening again for BO3.
I don't think they're gonna drop a.
I agree. I don't think you're wrong, but
Yeah.
no fucking shot it goes to BO4. The community
Well, yeah.
despises BO4.
Yeah, obviously
No
it's not gonna be
goddamn
BO4.
chance.
They're not gonna go back to BO3 though. If they're gonna, what they could do, since a
listen.
lot of the maps are BO2 maps, it could just be like a BO2 remastered thing. They're gonna.
'Cause
Remaster BO2.
it's just the Victus maps plus Call of the Dead plus 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I watched a Lex video.
Yeah, the
Lex
Victus
video.
maps, and then Mob of the Dead never got like a proper.
Oh, and Mob.
Yeah, which again BO2 map.
Yeah. So
So they could just like do BO2 remastered. That's like a thing that's been floating around.
could just do that.
Or they could drop the Chronicles 2 maps in
Which-
Cold War,
Which
which
I think is the move.
in Cold War.
Yeah.
Yeah, because also
Which,
like there's
which will make it very interesting for my combination here because like I don't know.
Yeah, like-
because that really changes it.
yeah, those are like old designed maps being put into the new mechanics. Like Mob would be fucking insane.
I'd
On
be
Cold War's engine.
super interested in it.
That would be like a genuinely really tough map, I think. Cold War Mob, like once you get into the later rounds with the super sprinters, you're in such a tight space a lot of the time.
Yeah,
God.
because especially in like Mob, like your shield is very important.
Yeah. So you
Don't
you
have
have
that.
to
Don't have
you have to
that.
rely on the armor now. So you're going to be taking like a lot of damage. You're probably going to have to rely on like I don't know, cuz it would be cool too. I don't know how they're going to do like the wonder weapons. I would hope that they would just like bring them back like faithfully, right?
Yeah. Just a question, just a theoretical question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am really just posing questions. I'm not a guy out of interest. Could you see a world where it would be better to not have Jug, or to not have Jug with the perk, with the level that it's like if you go down, if you lose if you have a hit that would kill you, you lose all your armor. Like that seems bad. Like in that kind of space, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm stupid. I think I'm overthinking it.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Move
think,
on. Never mind. I overthink it. Thank it. Thank you.
Yeah, I genuinely think that if they release Zombies Chronicles 2 for Cold War, it solves a lot of the main issues that people have with the game. Which, like, because, like, you're going to get more map variety. There's just going to be, like, inherent differences with how stuff plays out just because of the old layouts. They're going to have the personality because, like, they're the remastered versions of old maps.
Doesn't mean that. That is not what that means. They do not just inherently gain the personality of the maps because they're in the current game. That's not what that means.
I mean, sure, but, like, it's going to be... Like, if they're faithful remasters, then it's just going to be, like, the old maps, right? Like, the old maps just, like, have personality because of, like, the locations and stuff. Like, they're just inherently more interesting than Cold War stuff.
More interesting, yes, but I mean, like... you know, the personality is built by, you know, I don't know, like perks and spots and like things feeling different from map to map. Which
Yeah, but a big part of that is also like the play spaces and like the locations and visuals.
This is true.
That's like a big part of it for me. Like obviously with something like Mob of the Dead, a lot of the personality is like the special equipment that you can get, like the tomahawks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's a big part of it, but also like
it's
such
not-
a massive part of that map's identity is the fact that you're on Alcatraz and you're in like super close proximity with stuff. It's tight quarters gameplay the whole time. Just the location and the visuals of that are like a huge part of that. And if they match that in Cold War,
Another question I'm gonna pose:
what you got?
does being on Alcatraz again lose its sting if it's remade?
I mean, I think it does because we've been back there
Because
so many
this would
times.
be our third time.
Third time in Zombies, and also they've had so you've got Mob, and then you've got Blood of the Dead, and then you've got Blackout, and then you've got Rebirth Island.
So that would make it the fifth time in
Fifth time in COD.
Which like it loses its sting a little bit.
It does lose it a little bit.
Right.
I don't think it changes the fact that it's a cool location though.
Cool location, but I mean, it's just kind of less cool at this point.
Yeah.
I think that I think I personally do a good job mentally of separating like when it lost its sting,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, "Damn, we're back now for Mob of the Dead and Cold War." But then I'm like on Mob of the Dead and BO2 and I'm like, "We're fucking here."
Yeah.
God damn. You know? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I do a good job of that personally.
Yeah. Cause
I
like
also feel like I'm super cool and deserve money
okay.
from everyone.
I don't know. A good like example of that for me though is like in Rebirth Island. Like the first time I played Rebirth Island, it was super cool. It's like we're on fucking Alcatraz in Warzone. That's
Mhm.
crazy. It's Alcatraz. That's so cool.
Alcatraz, that's so
We can
cool.
explore the whole area. We load in now, and I'm just like, fuck, bro.
Where are we
I was on a
dropping?
heater, bro. Damn it.
I was on a heater, bro. Six kills.
Fuck, man. Damn it.
6 kills. Final circle. I was on a heater
At fish.
at Sky.
That's I'm better than that, man.
You know who isn't though?
Who?
Fish. That's crazy. Bro had 12 kills and choked, and he's
That's true.
never gonna see us making fun of him. Oliver, if you're here, I want you to send this clip to Fish. I want you to send this clip to Fish so Fish knows that we are bullying him for being bad at Warzone, and he's not here.
Doesn't
Like-
matter. He's trash.
We don't get the glorification of being able to laugh at him while he's there. We're doing it outside of it. It doesn't matter.
We hate you, fish.
We hate you. Get better.
This is serious.
How is your KD higher than mine and you're still worse at the game than me? How?
It's crazy.
No game sense.
Okay, so let's pivot back to Cold War and
Yeah.
talking about zombies. I just lost it all.
Ammo buying is cringe.
I think that ammo buying is unnecessary with the amount of ammo drops that you get in the game.
You also just
Like
get, you also just get fucking ammo. Like, bro, what?
Yeah,
It's
I
kinda
don't know.
dope.
I don't mind that because it's like I enjoy just being able to like use a gun that I enjoy, and I also I enjoy like the way that the damage scales in Cold War now, with like the weapons and then the health scaling. I like that it caps out. I enjoy that. I think that if some of the like equipment and stuff was balanced around it a little bit better, then it would be perfect.
Don't tomahawks always one shot?
They do.
That's-
Tomahawks, I don't mind always one-shotting, though. Something like that. Like a tomahawk, you can kill 2 zombies at most with a throw, max. I don't mind that being a thing. When you can take, like, a Semtex and kill a horde at round 400 instantly, that's a bit much for me.
Here's what I don't like, right? So, you know, I'm gonna say a tomahawk, but you know, I'm talking generally. I'm using tomahawk as an example because it fits for the conversation, or it fits with my connection. Pick a tomahawk off the ground, dead.
Yep.
Round 1. You can round 1, shoot a zombie, get the tomahawk, hold that bitch for 400 rounds, kill the zombie just the same. You know what other kind of tomahawk based thing?
Gee, I couldn't have ever seen this one coming.
I can't think of a joke to like what's the term?
I don't. What do you?
If you're not doing what was expected.
Subversion of expectation.
I cannot think of a way to subvert your expectations.
It's
The Hell's
it's yeah.
Retriever. You gotta earn that son bitch. Earn that son bitch. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah. And then you can use a tomahawk that's busted. Rather than just picking it up off the ground. Now, I do understand your point of, casual, just getting in, rolling up, running that shit.
Yeah.
I get it. But you can also do that in the old games. Nothing stops you.
You can, but I think it flows a little bit better in Cold War, at least for me.
Yeah, I just disagree. Because also, like, you don't. Also, you can play casually after you've grinded the game for tens and tens of hours, days and days, after you have literally every single item in the game fully maxed out.
Yeah.
Then you can play that casually, but you can't casually play. Like, you can, but like not to the level that you're talking about. Like what you think about as casual play doesn't work for anybody else that doesn't have the game fucking completed.
I mean, also, to be fair, it's not like super difficult to max out like all of the upgrade pads and stuff. That doesn't take like an insane amount of time.
I don't think you understand. I have like 3 weapon classes done. I don't have all the perks done. I have like 3 weapon classes, Ring of Fire, and Shatter Blast.
Yeah, but you also haven't like really just like gone for crystals specifically. Like if you're just going for crystals, you can get a bunch of them pretty quickly.
I mean, I have gone for crystals though. I'm interested. Can you check your playtime? Nothing you can check.
Yeah.
Simon's playtime. I'm interested. I assume we're gonna go for another cut, and then we're gonna run for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So I'll check during the cut.
Okay.
But I mean, I've played for a good amount of time. How long do you think you have to play? Because I've played for a good amount of fucking time.
Not enough. You must play more of the best zombies game.
I'm asking, like, how much do you think is a acceptable amount of time to complete? Jambo's twitching. Is a acceptable amount of time to be able to have all of the things so you can effectively do what you want in a casual game?
I mean,
Because I also like I at my current state can't run like LMGs. Can't do that because I don't have any levels in them.
yeah, I don't know. I think the difference here too. This is like another place where we just kind of fundamentally differ on stuff. I enjoy that grind and I enjoy like building myself up and going for that stuff. Like I had a lot of fun with the Cold War grind and like unlocking everything.
Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. Again, when the first time I did it, I also enjoyed it. My distaste for doing it now is due to the fact that I've had to do it twice.
Yeah, I feel like you would be a lot less harsh on it.
However, the issue is that this comes in conjunction with your point of it being a good casual game. You should do that first. You have to put a shit ton of time in to get that shit done. Like, I think probably more than you think it is.
Maybe a bit more. But even then, I do think it is still like possible to enjoy the game on a casual level even without everything like fully maxed out.
Now, again, I agree. I think that it's a fine casual game. You don't have a complete inability to play casually without those things. However, in the way that you are thinking about it, because you kind of can't think of anything outside of the lens that you have, which is fair. Like I'm not like you, stupid idiot, not looking at it from perspectives that you haven't seen yet. You damned bitch. Not what I'm saying. But as the person who has, in fact, had both perspectives, because I've been busted, I've lost that being busted, and I've sat not busted watching the guy who is busted. I've also maybe played alone. I don't remember.
Surely at some point.
And I've done all of these things. I have the perspectives. And like it's just weird. It doesn't feel comfortable. Like it doesn't feel like a game that's comfortable with its play style. That like it tries quite hard, I think, to establish itself as acceptable to new and old players. But I feel like it fails on both fronts. I just think it fails on both fronts.
Yeah.
Now, in fairness to me, what I am is not a new player. I'm not new.
Yeah.
I do know this. And I watch content from two people who were new players, those being Prestigious Key and Jev. And both of them loved Cold War.
I mean, Prestige isn't new.
To zombies.
No, he's not.
He fucking loved Cold War.
Yeah.
He was like, I learned a lot of shit from Cold War. He's
Yeah.
fucking, he don't do zombies, bro.
He was a zombie. He played like a decent bit of zombies before that.
Not a zombies guy.
I mean, he was like a multiplayer guy primarily, but he absolutely played zombies. He might not have been like a zombies guy, but I mean, he was like pretty involved with like zombies. He like voiced multiple characters, I think, on like World of War custom maps and stuff. Like he was like
Really?
Yeah,
Also, World at War is better because it has customs.
that makes sense. Yeah,
It has customs.
yeah. Modding tools go a long way.
Goes like I feel like now that we have BO3, we have forgotten the era of the 8 years it existed with World at War modding.
Yeah, World of War mod tools were great,
They were great.
and BO3 mod tools are great. That's something I can't argue on. Is just like BO3 will always be the best because you have mod tools.
You got mod tools, you got Chronic, you have the most base maps, and you have infinite maps.
Yeah.
Would you rather have games? Infinite games. But no games. Or no games, but infinite bacon. That's a great bit. That's a great bit. I love games. Infinite games, but no games.
Shout out to when you said there would be no comedy of the dead in this episode.
I said there'd be little. There'd be less. I said there'd be less of a focus of it. Because in the Crowley episode, we talked about smacking the shit out of people for a lot of that episode.
Yeah, that's true.
That was most of the episode. Was smacking the shit out of various people.
That's true.
So this episode would be more discussion based, which it has been.
Yeah.
Because you're wrong and I'm not.
Well, I don't know about that.
I DM'd Sky about it. I was at work and I just went, Cold War is the worst zombies game. and Sky hit me with a question marks and I was just sitting there smiling. And then I don't remember exactly if that was like soon after, but I was like, listen, I've got some shit. I'm open for you to prove me wrong, but I will not change my mind. Because I am correct.
Just like defeats the purpose, really.
I'm open to be proven wrong, but I will not change my mind because I am correct.
You will not prove me wrong. Because there's nothing to prove wrong. You don't like the style of gameplay I do.
Yeah, because you suck and I don't.
That's crazy. Yeah, so I will say in terms of like the Cold War progression, it very much did feel like it was kind of like conceived around like the seasonal model. Like that felt like kind of an important part of it.
I just stabbed myself in the eye. I just went
fucking idiot.
Right into it, like open eye.
You dumbass. Cold War did feel like it was kind of like worked around the seasonal model though. Like that felt like kind of a.
What do you mean?
I don't know, just like with the way the progression was, it feels like it was kind of because you started off, it was only the 3 tiers. It was kind of like you had your time to like grind up to those. It didn't take that long to get the crystals, and then you had some time to kind of sit with that, have your like tier 3 stuff, and you can kind of play, level up, get your challenges and stuff. And then you get like the tier 4 and 5s, and you have like a bit more time to like grind up the higher tier crystals, go for some longer games. And it's kind of done over like a longer period, and that just doesn't work as well when everything is in the game all at once.
Yep.
Like that, just kind of like that rollout was a little bit different, and I think that kind of affects things. 100%. Which I think that to me feels like it's obviously like an issue with Cold War zombies, but to me that's more of like an overarching just COD issue, which is the seasonal model is like it's all right. It has some benefits, but it certainly has some issues.
Yeah.
Like going back and playing COD games after their times are done is like it feels a lot worse now, I think, for just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will say the progression in that regard is a little bit like it feels like having gone through it through the main seasons, it felt a lot better.
Yeah, I mean it did.
Because you also went through it.
Again, I have I have both perspectives here.
Yeah.
This is not for me to go, your opinion is irrelevant because I have all of the perspective, but I do have all of the perspectives here.
Yeah. Something I am curious about. I kind of want to get Cold War on a fresh account and just start from the ground up and see just like how it goes, basically. See how long it actually takes me to get everything. Like I'm not sure if I want to play focusing on going for stuff or if I want to play just like
having a good time.
Just like going, yeah. I mean, I would have a good time like grinding for this stuff as well.
Yeah, but
so I don't know. I still think that would be fun though. Like
because
I think it would be fun to see how fast I could max everything out. That could be fun.
You could do that. I think that a fun thing could be to how fast can you max it out? How long would it take if you're just trying to vibe?
Yeah, do like a little comparison, little side by side.
Because I mean, those are the things. How long would it realistically take you in game time to complete effectively the game, and then how long would it take to do that, but while just chilling? Hop on some D Machina, camp on that
little rooftop camp.
Rooftop camp.
Yeah, that would be fun. I want to do that at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Cold War is not a perfect game. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. The high rounds are a little bit weird. The equipment always killing is a bit much for me, I think. I think that with some stuff it would be fine, but you know.
Yeah.
I think that Cold War could have benefited from more like stuff, like specific map stuff to. Yeah, I think there's probably more that we could discuss, but I'm too fucking tired to do this. We've gone for an hour.
Maybe this is something that we revisit.
Yeah, I'm sure we can revisit it.
Especially after, hopefully, Chronicles 2 comes out.
Hopefully, yeah. Maybe we'll have some different things to say.
Yeah, but
I really hope that Chronicles 2 does come out for Cold War.
Yeah. Also, to resolve, I have about because it was actually 1453, I think. So I'm just gonna do myself a favor and round up. I've got 15 hours in Cold War Zombies.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still not all the way. I'm not even really close to all the way done.
I think that to max out every upgrade in any game, you should need bare minimum like 150 hours.
Yeah, so he's kidding.
Yeah, that is a joke.
But,
I think that there should be like some working up to it, but I think that like I don't know. I don't know what my optimal time would be because I think my time of what I think would be fine for a grind is also like different from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because like on Cold War, I would be perfectly fine with like a 20-30 hour grind to get everything maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be a-okay with me. If it was more, if it was less, whatever, I'd be pretty fine with that. I think most people getting your stuff maxed out in like 30 hours is too much.
Yeah. It's why I think like BO3 struck a good balance because like getting a gun though with it don't take very long. You know, and even then, like the only real attachment that's relevant is fast mags. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of all that really matters. But yeah, so in conclusion, Cold War is the worst zombies game.
Yeah, Cold War Zombies is like a pretty significant deviation.
Games.
Oh shit! Shout out Jason Blundell.
In the last video that I watched, he made a claim that Blundell would be working on the next Zombies game. Is that accurate?
I've not
shot. Right?
I've not heard anything about that.
Cool.
It would be cool if he was like a consultant or something. If they just like had him for
Because
like
I was like,
some stuff.
no fucking shot, right? Like,
Yeah,
why would
yeah,
he
no.
do that?
Yeah, no.
His own shit.
It would be cool to see him just like give like a few things, like here's some pointers from someone who's been there.
Right.
So something like that could be
'Cause-
cool, but I don't.
'cause
He's not like a main project
He
lead.
did all of BO4, right?
He did like he did like all the chaos stuff. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
he fucking.
he was the guy.
God damn, I love Jason Blundell.
He's super cool.
How did he perfect zombies and leave? Not like, well, how did he leave us? But how did he perfect zombies, do it for 3 years, 5 years, and then just dip?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I get why he did. Just damn.
Yeah.
Sad world.
Sad world, but he's got his own studio now. He's making what he wants to make.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, Cold War Zombies is
the
best.
worst zombies.
It's the best.
It's the worst.
It is the best if you're autistic like me. That's the conclusion.
But
What is your confusion, Jack? Are you hate autistic people? Is that what you're saying?
well, the confusion was like, I'm also somewhere in that regard, you know.
Yeah, but like there's a
Yeah,
difference
but
though.
also, like,
You're,
it is a bad game. It's a bad zombie game. Let's be real. Come on.
yeah, but you're like different though. It's like similar stuff.
No,
like you're
but
different.
like it's the worst zombies game. Though.
It's just the best. It's
worst-
the grind. The
worst
grind is
one.
fun. I enjoy the grind.
It's
The
the
grind
worst
is
one.
it's got a lot to do. It's a
God,
fun
yeah, but
grind.
it's a lot. Just have fun. Eat dick.
Just the core gameplay mechanics are the best in the series.
It takes two. No, it's not. It's not actually. I've
It is.
changed my
It is
mind.
actually.
That's the worst in the series. In fact, actually,
It's really not.
I'm not
really
even
isn't.
kidding. I said that. I'm not kidding.
It's
the
my
worst.
favorite. It is my
You
favorite.
could say it's favorite, but it is objectively the worst, though. So
It is objectively different, and I think personally it's better than the old style. Especially going back to like BO1 and 2. Those games feel like very aged now.
You feel like an aged bitch. You ugly ass motherfucker. I'll beat the shit out of you with some Cheerios, bro. Goddamn. Some Cheerios up your ass, bro. Goddamn.
Black Ops 2 is still mid.
I'll get the shit out of you, you ugly ass bitch.
Black Ops 2 is still mid.
That's why you got 5 games better than your 1 game. Goddamn. 5 games. 5 games, and they all work. How'd they do that to you?